Let's stand for prayer and pledge.
Thank you for this day, good dear Lord. Thank you for all that you are doing with this county business as we come this morning. Be with us in all that we do. In your name we ask. We do say amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
considerations for September's minutes.
Hold on, Dr. Rouser, we're gonna get,
I got Mr. Miller on.
is he on? Okay, okay, good, sorry.
Are we ready?
Yes.
I move we accept the minutes as written.
I second that.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I have it. So it is.
Approval of the minutes. Mr. Miller?
Move to open the public hearing.
I move we open public hearing.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. So it is. First on the agenda, David Nicholas. State your name.
Oh, David Nicholas. What I'm requesting is a variance on a lot I purchased in Lake Caroline area. It's lot number 4. It is the narrowest of 6 lots there that were being developed by Rob Stockett. It is 77 feet, 0.45 feet wide. All the other lots are 81 and 88 and wider. My house that I've got planned for it is, would sit over the 10-foot setback, 17 inches on each side, and I'm just requesting that variance for 17 inches on each side. The lot owner on both sides of me is Doug Fridge, and he has approved it, and as the developer has also approved it.
Any questions?
I don't have a question. It's pretty straightforward to me.
Did you say the property owners on either side of the lot have both approved?
Yes.
Did you include that in any of the materials you sent to the?
Yes, it's all, their signatures are on the second sheet, I think,
Okay, thank you.
as is the developers.
Sorry, sir, I am coming in late. You're pertaining to either side of something. May I do that again, please?
So the property owner on both
Excuse me?
sides of me has approved it.
Who are you?
I'm David Nicholas.
Okay, and what property do you own?
Lot number 4, which is in the middle
Of what?
of the Bellevue Cove.
Can you hold it 1 second? Can you stand up and tell us who you are?
Yes, sir. I am Patricia DeWeese Reimers.
Come to the mic.
I,
Come to the mic.
We need you to come to the microphone.
Patricia DeWeese Reimers. I own the 52 acres behind the Chapel of the Cross. It is my understanding that the commercial property development
Get in the
to
mic.
my north is going to be discussed today, and I have just gotten here.
He's
so
not talking
I don't know
about
what
that.
he's pertaining to.
No, that's
No,
not it.
that's not it.
Okay.
Your item's next on the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
I entertain a motion.
I move we approve the variance.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we approve it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so it is.
Thank you.
Kyle.
No, that was approval of David Nicholas' variance on setbacks.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Kyle Malone, and I'm the homeowner. I'm sorry.
Get Mr. Miller's.
We have a member on the phone.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry about that.
A little bit delayed. We have to wait on his vote.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Kyle Malone, and to my right, your left, is my builder, Mr. Nick Gillette. We're here in regards to a request for a variance on the Quail Ridge property in Gluckstadt. It's a 10-foot variance, and I'm not a builder, so my builder graciously came here today to help explain it and use the proper terminology, but I will be here, obviously, if there's any questions. And this is, again, Mr. Nick Gillette.
How are you guys?
Good.
Doing right. So to explain this, like Kyle said, this is Quail Ridge Estate Farm. So it's a older development that is actually located off Catlett Road, where Bozeman turns into Catlett before you turn left to Stribling to go to Lake Caroline area. So this is, I'm not sure when the development was developed. And the reason we're seeking this setback, this property is a corner lot that falls extremely hard from the road to the back side of the property. So it's 3.5 acres of an original, I believe, 10-acre lot that was surveyed out and sold to the Malone family. There's a pond on the back side of the property, and it falls approximately 25 feet from the front corner to the rear of that property. And it starts to fall harder as you go away from the street. And you can actually see the original plat is in here of the subdivision, which shows this as a 10-acre lot. And this is 3.5 acres pieced out of this. And the actual setback for Madison County, since it's a radius lot or a corner lot, is 50 feet front, but then it's 33 feet on the side, so it's 66% of the front setback. So the entire thing on the radius will not truly be a front setback, but we're requesting the 10 feet for that front setback. And you can see the very last page is from my surveyor, where he's actually surveyed where the existing structure. So at this point, we've actually done the dirt pad. The dirt pad is about 6 inches off the ground on the front and 9 to 10 feet off the ground on the back across the size of that house. That shows you how much fall we have. The form boards are actually already set with 6-foot drop footers, and the plumbing is in as well. And the major concern we have if we do have to move this home backwards, obviously with that there is a huge cost to incur by doing that, but the major thing is with 10 feet of fill dirt on the back of that that's been compacted 8 inches at a time to over 95%, we have a good solid footing for the house. If we have to go adding 10 feet to the back of that pad that's 10 feet in the air, my concern is potential structural integrity issues now and in the future on this project. So, and if you see the road, we are over 50 feet from the edge of the road. Just the setback did not exactly follow the corner of the road, and the property was not marked survey-wise before we started the project. So we're seeking that 10-foot front variance, and you can see that very front corner that will be at that, essentially the 40-foot variance instead of 50 feet.
When you say the property wasn't marked prior to you starting the project, I'm not sure what that means. Do you mean that there was no record anywhere of those setbacks, setback requirements?
If you look at the quitclaim deed that is attached here, it shows that this is the south 3.5 acres of Lot 6 of Quail Ridge. Now, it does say on the bottom of that, the conveyance is subject to all zoning ordinance building restrictions, but there was actually no survey pen. So what we've done with that back page I've had a surveyor come out, and they dug all the pins up, exposed the pins, and we've since marked the pins, pulled the property lines, and he has marked where the house, where the current setback is and where the actual structure is sitting right now.
Okay, so the last page, the surveyor's sheet, that's existing, that's the pad that you propose to pour, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
It's already poured, isn't it?
It's not poured, no.
But the dirt pad is.
The dirt pad, and it's formed, ready to be poured,
Right.
but it is not poured at this time. Obviously, we have to get the variance to be able to pour it.
On the first page, in that, what is this square representing that's?
So
kinda
this
overlaid?
is, when I was originally working with Scott, he said, just draw me something to show me what we're talking about, and that was just me rough drawing. Because since we're in this radius, it's really hard to tell exactly. So that actually is completely irrelevant, because we have the true survey on the backside, the very last page.
Okay.
So there's no existing structure?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, but besides, the dirt pad and the foundation is formed on the dirt pad. But the concrete, the slab has not been poured, so nothing's been framed. That's what we're seeking the variance, so we can pass inspection on the foundation and continue the project. So,
Any other questions? Any opposition? I entertain a motion.
I move we approve the variance.
I would second that motion.
It is moved properly second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. So it is.
all right. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
That was approval of Kyle Megan Malone variance, Hunter's Cove.
Okay. I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. So it is. Site plan. Fleetway Market.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Taylor Poole with Dean and Dean Architects. I'm here with Alan Grant, president of our
Mike.
company. Sorry, can you hear me now? There we go.
better.
Taylor Poole from Dean and Dean Architects. I'm here with Alan Grant, president of our firm. We're here to present the Fleetway Market. It's a 6,400 square foot Fleetway Market that will be going in at the Mansdale development, which is at the intersection of 463 and Gluckstadt Road. We've got some historic brick detailing. The intent was to make the building look like it had been there for 100 years. We want it to fit in with historic Madison County. We're here with the Morrises as well. Mr. Bradley Morris, he may have actually just stepped out.
He just stepped out.
But if you have any questions.
Any questions?
Has it been presented to the district for approval?
It has not been presented formally to them. However, we've talked about this project along the way with the Mansdale Historic Society as we've been discussing other projects on that site overall. So they're aware that this will be a mercantile store on that corner, but we've not made the formal presentation yet. Scott, it had to do with the way the meetings fell this month and next month. Scott recommended we come to you guys first and then go to Mansdale. I believe we're going next next Monday to them.
I believe it would be best if you all go before them and then come back to us.
That's fine. I mean, we could do that. We're following the direction and guidance of the county on that. But so if we went to to you Monday, when would the next meeting be to come back here?
In November. Is that right, Scott?
November 11th.
Okay.
Should be.
Just if I could say something here real quick, I've talked with Ms. McGuffey out in the hall, and Scott and I have talked about this a couple of times too. Very, very rarely do we run into this issue, but now it's been 2 months in a row because of scheduling with, last month it was
Variances. on
Labor
setback.
Day, the way that fell and their meeting. This month, it's the flea market. So what we've talked about and are proposing is that Mansdale Livingston's meeting should, and if we need to change this in the ordinance, put it in the ordinance, fall on the Monday before our Thursday meeting, however that falls. You know, that way we'll know well enough in advance so that this doesn't happen again. The ordinance itself does not require Mansdale Livingston to see it or look at it before you guys do, but it's been years and years and years of pattern and practice where that's the way that it is that Mansdale Livingston takes a look at it, makes their recommendation or gives their certificate of appropriateness, comes before us, and then on to the Board of Supervisors. I think it best to probably streamline that process so that there is no confusion or problems. You know, if you guys were to approve it today, contingent on Mansdale Livingston, well, they may have a few changes, and then they got to come back. Petitioner would have to come back before us. It's one of those things that it's never a problem until it's a problem, but let's avoid that problem is what I would recommend.
All right, well, we'll hear the parties that are here. You all want it?
Beg pardon?
Fine, yeah.
Want to hear?
Do you need I'm fine hearing it today and making an approval, if we approve it, make it contingent on the Mansdale approval.
Okay.
But I also agree with Andy, we need to fix the ordinance where this doesn't happen.
Okay.
We've got a lot of people here already to talk about this, I don't want to send them home.
I have a question, though. You're showing your canopy structure overlapping the setback on a couple of drawings, and one drawing that does not. What is it? Which is it?
Get a picture up front there.
This one shows us the canopy overlapping the setback, which is when the structure's overhanging the setback, which you shouldn't be doing. And then this drawing, it shows it even. So which is it?
Which sheet? Let's see.
This is C12 and this is C11. See what I'm saying? You're showing the setbacks, and then you're showing the canopy overhanging the setback. Here it's not overhanging the setback. Which is it?
It should be, it will be even with, it will be
Setback?
flush with the setback, yes. We'll adjust that drawing, we'll double check those setbacks to make sure that we fit the C2
Okay,
setbacks.
that was my question.
Yes, we'll make sure that it is flush in the final design and placement of the canopy. We'll make sure that it's flush with the setback.
Okay. I think if you put the canopy up and then have to take it back down.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that either. I don't think Mr. Morris would like that either.
Okay, I don't have any other questions,
Sure, I do, if I may.
regarding,
What, is there anybody else along with them that needs to speak?
okay, this is the lady.
Oh, all right. Come on up.
Yes, sir, I am across the street on Luckstadt Road.
Would you wait until you get to the
Wait till you
microphone?
get to
We've
the
got somebody
microphone, pull the microphone down
offline
and
trying to
talk
listen to
into it.
this.
'Cause
I am
we're
across
being
the
recorded,
street
so-
on Gluckstadt Road, and nobody has questioned me about being a good neighbor pertaining to what is being presented across from my property. And it seems that certain people in the area seem to think it is important to the community that people are amenable to making the neighbors happy with what is proposed and presented as far as development, and nobody has contacted me or my interests pertaining to this kind of thing. So I'm just making my feelings known about that, and I don't understand why I have not been questioned as pertaining to my feelings about how what is being presented and proceeded to take place is happening. So for those who may be concerned about that kind of thing, I'm just making that information known.
What are your feelings about this development?
Well, I think it would have been nice if someone had talked to me about what is going on across the street from my property.
I understand that, but you have a chance to tell us what your feelings are now, if you'd like to.
Well, I think I just stated that I have not been questioned as to what my feelings are about those who are presenting this development.
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm asking you what your feelings are on this development.
I think it should be discussed with me prior to any further proceedings.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Was there not a sign or anything up prior to this?
No, it's my understanding, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, this property is zoned C2, so it is zoned for mercantile stores. There's no public hearing that is required, which then would require us by the zoning ordinance to discuss it with the neighbors. Being a good neighbor is one issue, but, we'll be happy to talk with you or any of the other neighbors about it, but we've not been required per the zoning ordinance to do that. So we've not done that.
The development was approved quite a while ago.
Yes,
In its overall concept.
Yes, the overall master plan was, probably approved 12 years ago, and then it was redesigned and reapproved prior to COVID, so almost 2 years ago. It was reapproved in a public hearing through this board, through the board of the county board as well.
Right.
Are there any other questions?
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Bob Williams, the Senior Warden of the Chapel of the Cross, and we are here today to share our concerns with this. We respectfully oppose the Fleetwood Market and gas station, and we cite to that it is prohibited under the district, the Heritage Preservation District, as set out in Section 1603, Paragraph 12 of the Madison County Zoning Ordinance. If I can approach and give each of you a copy of this, can I do that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you will please turn to page 84, and you will look at number 12. Service stations and convenience stores are not allowed except on Highway 460C corridor 500 feet of Highway 22. Based on this, we respectfully request that you turn this down. This would harm our historic part of the Chapel of the Cross. All of that area out there is historic. It's meant to stay that way. We need to preserve the chapel. It is important to the community. It is important to the state of Mississippi. And this would change the complete area out there. You've got historic Annandale, all the other things out there. It was not meant for there to be a convenience store and a service station.
True. So we would assume from this that Mansfield Livingston Historical District, when they review this plan, would reject it.
We would hope so.
Did they? No, we haven't seen it. Okay.
So I suppose, if we were to approve it based on the approval of the district out there and they don't approve it, then I suppose it's a moot point. So I suppose you'll have to go before that board and plead your case with them too.
Well, we can do that as well. I think Bill wanted to say something.
Bill Buhner, Chapel of the Cross. What Bob read to y'all, those are deed restrictions that are from the Mansdale overlay. Those restrictions come from the original deed, which was filed on 17 January 2003. And they essentially were lifted bodily and then placed in the other document. So they were deed restricted from the beginning relative to the gas station only being permitted within 500 feet of Highway 22. I just wanted to make that point. So it goes, the restrictions were not written by anyone. They were actually written prior to 2003. Thank you.
So I want to address that. Yes, there are gas stations and convenience stores are disallowed per the Mansdale overlay district. However, there are definitions in that overlay district that address gas stations, convenience stores, and mercantile stores. Mercantile stores are allowed in the district, and it's a definition of what is sold through the store. Mercantile stores are allowed to have gas sales. They are limited in the number of pumps, but they are also required to sell other products similar to what the Livingston Mercantile store down on 22 is selling. So there is a defined difference between those three stores, and it's in the definitions of that overlay district.
But doesn't the Livingston store fall within the 500
Yes, the
feet?
Livingston store does, and I only bring that up as an example of what the difference between a mercantile
Really
store.
wouldn't matter what they were selling.
It doesn't matter what they're
allowed to
selling,
have-
but
be a
this
gas
is,
station.
yes, but the definition of a mercantile store is that they sell more than what a typical convenience store would sell, which is limited groceries, country clothing, the typical things that you would find in a country store versus a standard convenience store that would be City of Ridgeland, City of Madison, City of Canton, et cetera.
So what would you be selling in this store that would be mercantile, not just plain old C-store?
Well, that's what I just addressed with comparing it to Livingston, is that Livingston sells crickets for fishermen, they sell limited groceries, they sell fresh produce that's grown locally, they sell clothing. It is things that are beyond what a typical convenience store or gas station would sell. It's not just about selling gas. And also the mercantile stores are limited in the number of pumps that they can have versus a convenience store or gas station.
And I'm assuming that you're within those limits as a
Yes, sir.
mercantile store?
Yes, I think it's 4 pumps, and we've got 4 pumps.
Okay. All right.
I'm Rita McGuffey, and I'm chairman of the Mansdale Overlay Commission. And it's unfortunate that this meeting fell before our meeting. I think it's only happened twice in the history of everything. But I just want you to know we are going to do a very thorough job. This is a very multi-layered thing because of the deed restrictions. We have to make sure that we're not doing anything that, would put the county in legal jeopardy, if we decide that, as we are, looking at everything in this. And there are a lot of points because of the way the land flows. I didn't see topography to see about how it's going to be handled as far as what you see. I think that's very important. Another thing is that it says in the document everywhere that Any gas service has to be completely screened from road view. I'm sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Which means on Highway 463 or Gluckstadt Road, any gas service has to be completely screened, you know, if it is allowed there. So it's going to be a very carefully reviewed process, and we will meet Monday night, and we will do our best to thoroughly go through everything that, I'm sorry, everything that is required in this one, and get back to y'all with our recommendation on that. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Come to the mic, please. Yeah.
Tricia DeWeese Reimers, I would like to know if there's been an appropriate infrastructure study on how the roads in the area would accommodate this.
Okay.
I think that was done.
Yes, there's been a traffic study.
Yeah.
There's been a traffic study performed for the whole area, and we can get you a copy of that to look at. But yes, there has been a full traffic study done. Now, the traffic study was performed. It was mostly focused on the need for a lighted intersection at that intersection, but it does tell about current counts, future projected counts, et cetera.
I'll entertain a motion.
How many we table this?
Of these gentlemen, if I may,
Beg pardon?
can sell alcohol in the store.
Yes. Through the legal sale, meaning beer, not wine and liquor.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've checked those distances. From the Chapel of the Cross to the front door against the requirements of the state, and we fall outside of those requirements.
Did you go directly across the street?
Yes, sir. We went from, well, the way it's measured is from front door facility to front door facility. And when
When you say front door, you talking about front door of the physical Chapel of the Cross?
we went from the front door of the building that's there on the corner that you guys now own to the front door, the projected front door of the gas station, and yes, we are outside of that 400 feet. I will be glad to double check that and get you something back in writing. I have no problem with that.
Will you be selling lottery tickets?
Bradley, I can't answer that question. Bradley Morris is the owner of the property. He will be the operator of the facility. Yes, sir.
Come up to the mic.
My name is Tommy. Excuse me. My name is Tommy Robertson, and I'm also a member of Chapel of the Cross. What hours of operation would your facility be open,
I'll have to defer to Mr. Morris on that.
sir?
Whatever the covenants require, there are hours in the covenants, so we'll abide by that.
Well, we have a church. We're open, for services. We're open during the day, but if the facility is going to be open at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, that doesn't work well with Chapel of the Cross. We feel that's not good for people hanging out that can come to the church when we're not there. We have a real problem with that, with our facility. Thank y'all.
Sir, what did you say your last name was?
Robertson, R-O-B-E-R-S-O-N.
Thank you.
Mr. President and Board of Mr. President and Planning Commission members, if I'm not mistaken, and Rita can probably clarify this, I think there are some hours of operation that are already restricted, and I think it is 10 p.m. 9, I'm sorry.
9 p.m., that's correct. So the hours that the gentleman was referring to of midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or outside of that. So it's 9 o'clock that they have to be closed. I'm not sure what the opening time is.
I think it's 6.
Okay.
And there's, another thing that will have to be addressed is the kind of lighting will, impact.
Yes, and we have,
The dark sky.
we have the lighting calculations as a part of our package. We'll review those Monday with you. And look, we certainly want to be, and I'm addressing you, I'm addressing everybody that has concerns. We want to be good neighbors. I think Mr. Morris, I speak for him, he wants to be good neighbors as well. If we need to back up and visit with people at the church, if we need to back up and visit with neighbors, visit with Rita's group as an informal meeting before a formal meeting, we're ready to do that. We have no intentions of doing anything on that corner that would cause ill will in the community, especially for the church and the neighbors. So we offer that as a step in the process. Again, Mr. Morris owns the property. He wants to put a mercantile store there. He's a business owner. He wants to operate a business. It's a great location. I'm also a neighbor. I live in Hartfield. My property actually backs up to this property. I also own a lot in Johnstone, so I'm not going anywhere. For me personally, as a neighbor, I'm ready for the grocery store. I'm ready for the mercantile. It's a convenience issue for me. So that's my personal,
Okay.
as a neighbor.
And those who have opposed or opposition, you have an opportunity again to go and share with the Mansdale to voice your opinions. And this time we'll entertain that motion.
I move we table this until Mansdale has an opportunity to review it thoroughly themselves and provide a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning Commission before we make a determination.
I second that.
It's been moved and properly second that we table it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so it is. That'll be tabled.
Mr. Miller, the vote was for tabling this meeting till Mansdale Livingston can review it thoroughly, then come back before us.
I vote yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Mr. President and Planning Commission members, I want to clarify one thing. The document that was provided to us showed section 1600 is actually from the old ordinance.
Okay.
And the new ordinance, that would be under section 1903M. It's the same thing, it's just a different.
It's been, right,
Okay.
the numbers, section numbers were all changed.
And another thing.
The ordinance.
And another thing, in 2022, I was looking at my calendar, there are going to be 6 times that the Planning Commission meets before the Mansdale Livingston, and we're going to have to get that remedied real quick.
Yeah, we'll need to make a change to our ordinance formally.
Yes,
With
we
the
do.
public
It's a
hearing.
public hearing, and I'll have to get that started right away.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. Maybe it won't happen again. All right, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your time, and we appreciate everybody's comments. Rita, we'll meet with you Monday, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
And we'll let you know about the time.
Okay.
It's probably either going to be 5 or 6 o'clock, whenever.
Okay, that's fine. Just let us know.
It will be Monday night.
All right, thank you.
Scott, during the open hearing part of the meeting, we voted on the Malone property. Did we need to include Mansdale approval in that motion? I can't remember if we did or not.
We didn't.
Do we need to?
I'm not sure I'm following your question.
Didn't that issue also have the same problem with our action coming before the Mansdale action? Or am I just confused?
No, sir.
Neither of the items in the public hearing had anything to do with that?
Not at all.
Okay, I was just making sure. Thank you.
Motion for the November meeting. 11. All right. Did we have a second on that?
Second.
All right. The motion is second that we meet on the 11th of November. Amen. Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Miller, 11th of November will be our next meeting.
Yes.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right.
right.
Thank you very much. Mr.
Motion
Miller.
to adjourn.
10 years ago, that would have been a historic day. I don't know why we don't get this stuff. This seems like this was out of order.
I like a blue ink.